Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Trishita Reads. I am Trishita. In this channel, I share bookish content and my love for reading, and also you get to see fun reading challenges, TBR videos, and my thoughts after finishing the books that I read. So if you like contents like this, please go and subscribe to my channel, and let's start with the video. Before starting everything, I just want to show my gratitude to each and everyone who has been supporting me from the very beginning of this channel. It has not been a long time that I am making videos on YouTube. It has been, I guess, 1.5 months or something like that. But thank you so much, guys, for subscribing to my channel. I finally have 50 subscribers. I mean, more than 50 subscribers. And I have finally crossed 500 views on one of my videos. I never thought that you guys will like my content because personally, I am a very introverted person and I don't go out much. I just stay in my corner, read. Becoming a booktuber was my ultimate goal, and I am so happy that I took one step forward. And I'm so grateful that you guys are watching my videos, you guys are supporting me, and I also read and reply to each and every comment that I get. Now I have something that I can look forward to in life, and I'm really enjoying this YouTube journey. So thank you so much. So let's move on and start with the video finally. Today is 1st August, and to kickstart this month, I have decided to do a fun challenge. And from the title, you already know what the challenge is. The challenge's name is I will be reading 7 books in 7 days. The challenge will start from tomorrow, that is 2nd August, and it will go for the next 7 days. I am not starting this challenge today because it is almost what time it is. It is almost 4 p.m. and I have full confidence in myself that if I don't read a graphic novel, I won't be able to finish one book today. So I want to give myself some leverage. I will start the challenge from tomorrow. Now I have a few ideas, you can say, with respect to choosing my TBR for this challenge. One thing I have decided is that I don't want to strictly read all the books in my TBR this month. I want to go with the flow, but I also want to read a few books in my TBR. Among the 7 books, I will read 4 paperbacks and 4 Kindle versions. I am switching the formats because one, it does help me read faster. And the second thing is, I have a lot of books in my Kindle and I want to pick at least a few every month so that I can buy new books on my Kindle. I will not be reading only one genre, I will be reading and mixing different genres so that I don't fall into a reading slump because generally I do, and I genuinely do not want that. I will select 4 books from my monthly TBR, and those will be 2 books from my physical TBR and 2 books from my Kindle Unlimited TBR, and the remaining 3 books, that is 2 paperbacks and 1 Kindle book. And I guess it will depend on what my mood is on that particular day, whether I want to read a thriller or a romance or a fantasy. And I kind of want that to be a surprise for you guys, as I won't be revealing the books that I will be reading now, but I will be sharing the books that I will be reading on everyday basis. So stay tuned and let's start with the challenge. Hi guys, it is 2nd August and officially the beginning of the challenge. Today is the first day and I have decided to start The American Boyfriend. Currently the time is 2:45 p.m. and I did start reading this book in the morning only. I had work in between. I could not read much, but I have finished 62 pages of this book, and yeah, the progress is really nice because the book is really thin, so I am almost halfway through this story, and to be honest, nothing much has happened for now. I got to know some parts or snippets of the different characters that are there. The main focus is on Phoebe, and some things are happening with Phoebe, and I am a bit confused because I don't know for certain why these things are happening with Phoebe, and I am guessing that all my questions will be answered when I will be finishing this book. So yeah, for now I am done with my lunch, I have showered, I am officially done with my work for the day, and my weekend has officially started. Plus, the weather is really nice out here. It is raining now. It is all cloudy, gloomy, raining. This is definitely the perfect weather to read a thriller. And yes, I will be continuing with the story. Now, the total number of pages of this book is 205, and I am planning to finish at least around 150 pages before I take a small break. I will not blabber much and I will start with the book. So, 205 pages, 150 pages. So, 150 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 pages, 150 pages. I just realized that I have not introduced you to the book. So, pardon me for that. So, the main character of this book is Phoebe, who is in her early 40s. She is a single mother and she is also working and living in London. She is in a relationship. I mean, it feels more like a situationship with this guy called Carter who lives in USA, and basically they have a long distance relationship. These guys met via LinkedIn, and from there their relationship started, or the situationship or whatever it is has started between them, and it has been going on for around 11 months or so. This guy Carter has a villa in Florida which is close to the beach, and he offers Phoebe to come over here for 2 weeks so that they can spend a small holiday or a getaway from their work and busy schedules. And it has been a few months that both of these people have seen each other, so they do want to spend some quality time together. And Phoebe sees this as a really good opportunity, and she boards the plane with her daughter. She comes to Florida, she reaches the villa, but Carter is not there. So Phoebe got to know from Carter over text that he will be a little late. He will be coming the next day in the morning and he will take her out for a treat. But on the very same night, she gets robbed from her own house, and the only purse that is missing has all the cash, all the important documents, including passports. So when she wakes up in the morning, she contacts the police department, her travel insurance guys, and her embassy as well to sort everything out. And she is basically panicking now. And when the time comes for Carter to arrive, he does not. He is again delaying his arrival by saying that he has some work to do, and the next day he will be boarding this flight because there was some issues in the flight and the flight got cancelled or something like that. So Phoebe is in a very weird situation where she neither knows anyone nor she can go out because she does not have any money with her at this moment. But there are some people out there in that small town who are really kind to her. For example, her neighbor, a guy is also there who comes twice every week to clean the lawns and gardens of this villa. He also helps her a lot. Till now, I have read this far. There has been some other storylines or plot lines that are going on that I do not understand for now, and I guess those will be considered as spoilers because there is no mention of those things in the blurb of this book. So now that we are done with the introduction of the book, I will go and start reading. It is currently 10:30 p.m. and I am currently at page number 147. Can you see? Okay, it has finally focused. Okay. And the story has progressed a little bit, but it has not progressed much. So I am having this feeling that this book will be a mediocre read for me. I am having this feeling that this book is still a three-star read. I am still waiting for the final revelation. Things have started winding up because this book has only around 50 pages left. But there are a lot of questions that I want answers to for this book to end up being a 4 star or potentially 4.5 star read for me, which I'm not hoping. Not gonna lie, I am a little bit disappointed with the story. Not gonna lie, I do feel like the characters in this book are not properly described, and there are some things, or you can say useless things, that I do not specifically want to read about, but they are being presented in the story, and I am not liking that particularly because I am feeling like the book is kind of deviating from the main actual plot, and I don't see a point in this where the author is explaining the subplots more or a particular characteristic arc of this character more than focusing on the main plot. But I am still hopeful that I will be finishing this book today. Now, let's start reading and let's finish this book. Hi guys, it is currently 11:45 p.m. and I am done with my book, The American Boyfriend, and I have rated this book 2.5 stars. I am disappointed from this story, and let me tell you why. First of all, when I read the blurb of this book, it sounded very good, but I kind of feel like the execution was lacking a bit. The second thing is the first half of this book was a struggle for me to read because actually nothing was happening. The characters did feel one dimensional, and I do know that this book is a thriller. The characters in here will be morally gray, but I did feel like the characters were lacking personalities. I did feel like the characters were one dimensional, and that somehow demotivated me to continue with the book. But however, I continued with the story, and after finishing the book, I can say that only around 40 to 50 pages had the thrill, had the elements of a thriller, and that was something that made my rating go lower. But there is one thing that I have to say: there are two revelations that happen at the end of the book, and both of these revelations were really good. I did predict one of the revelation to some extent, but the last revelation was something I did not expect. It came as a surprise to me, and I really liked that. My one complaint is there were too many loose ends in this story, and they somehow are all winded up very conveniently by the end of the story, and that did made me lose my interest in the novel. Overall, The American Boyfriend is a decent read. I will not say that I enjoyed it a lot, but I will not say that I had the feeling of throwing this book. If you ask me, I do not recommend this book. However, I do feel like reading is all about perspectives. You might have a different opinion. I might have a different opinion after finishing a book, and that's completely fine. That's completely normal. I will update you guys in the morning about the book that I have planned to read, because I think that it will be a really, really, really nice novel. And I am really, really, really excited to read that book, because the genre I will be reading tomorrow is something that I do not read on a regular basis. And I am very excited to start a book that is from a completely different genre. Yes, it will push my comfort zone, but I am really excited to see how the story progresses. And see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Hi, guys. It is the second day of the challenge, and currently the time is 7 p.m. I had a lot to do in the morning. I did not get any chance to read, obviously, because I had to wake up so freaking early and I was sleepy throughout the day. I did take a good afternoon nap and I am all fresh and sound now. I have decided to read Even in Death by Lilith Roman. This is a short horror novella that has some elements of romance in it also. It is around 150 pages, so I am confident enough of finishing this book by midnight. This can be considered as a little bit of cheating, but I got to do what I got to do, okay? My goal is to finish one book per day, and this book was in my TBR for this month. I have started reading this book. I am currently 9% in. Can you focus, camera? Okay, thank you. And it is too soon to say anything about the story, but I am also expecting things happening super quickly in this book because the number of pages are short. I am super excited to read this book because I do not read horror that often, and I am really expecting things from this book because the reviews of this book are really, really great. And do you know the author finished this book in 2.5 days? I will keep you guys updated, and once I finish this book, I will also tell you guys about the story of this book also. Till then, stay tuned.
Imagine recording this segment twice and still the audio was not right. I don't know what happened with the mic, but I still want to record the wrap up of this book. So if you hear the background noise or if you hear my fan, please ignore that and let's start. I will be super quick because I don't want to talk a lot. I have finished reading Even in Death by Lilith Roman, and I did not like this book at all. I am giving this book 1.5 stars, and those 1.5 stars are because of one, the writing style of this book, second, the cover of this book because it was the cover that made me choose this book, and the third is the length of this book. I did appreciate that the book was not dragged at all, and 124 pages were becoming miserable. So I don't know whether I would have read 200 pages of this thing, whatever was going on in this book. So the main character of this novel is Zahara. Her parents die in an accident, and that leads her to the mansion that her parents lived in. Basically, her parents are stinking rich, but she is someone who does not think that money can be the end of everything. And the author has made sure that the readers get to know this after every few pages. So that was kind of a thing that irked me a bit. And when she goes in the mansion, she starts discovering new things that are hidden in her past, and she discovers a few secrets. Zahara starts discovering the secrets of her past life, and that leads to some very dark revelations that changes her life. Also, there is a ghost that is following her, and she does not know why and whose ghost it is, why it is following her. That's also a mystery that she will unravel in this novel. This is the thing that you will get to know after reading the blurb of this book. But guess what? This novel was completely different from what has been described in the blurb of this book. I did know that the genre of this novel is paranormal romance, but I did not expect that the paranormal segment will be a lot less, and the romance segment, if you can call it a romance, will be the majority of this plot. However, the romance between the two characters is something that I did not like at all. There was no development of romance between these two characters. I was being told that these two characters had chemistry in the past, but I did not see any kind of development of any kind of feelings between these two characters, and that was something that put that book down on a lower pedestal for me. Second thing is, I did not find any of the characters to be substantial or of significance in the story. Even the main character seemed one dimensional. Her bond with the parents was not even shown in the story properly, but it was a major plot. I don't know why the kitchen got more significance than her parents in the novel. There were literally pages describing the kitchen layout and everything. It was not once, it were multiple times in the novel. However, I don't even remember the parents' names of this girl, Zahara. This book was literally a bad decision for me. I am so happy that the book has ended. My misery time is finally over. And moving forward, it is almost midnight. I am done with everything that I have to do for today, and I will go to sleep now. I'll wake up with a new enthusiasm to start a new book. If this challenge brings on more mediocre books, then I don't know, maybe I will fall into a reading slump. And if not, then it will be a good sign, because for now I have read two books and both of these two books are mediocre books. I did not expect them to be mediocre books, but they are, unfortunately. I still hope that the other books that I have planned for this challenge turn out to be good. So I will see you tomorrow, and till then, good night, tata.
Good morning, guys. It is day 3 of the challenge, and I just woke up a few minutes ago. I did freshen up and made myself a cup of good black tea. And the book that I am starting today is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I am so excited to read my first ever hockey romance, and I have heard so many good things about this book that I am really, really excited to see what my thoughts will be after finishing this book. But I am also very scared. I am scared because this book is really, really hyped. I mean, after this book, people started having interest in hockey romances, and there are several other books that released after this book having the theme of hockey romance. So you can say this was kind of a pioneer when it comes to hockey romances to the major mass of readers. And yeah, I did read the blurb of this book while I was shooting the TBR video and really liked the concept. Not gonna lie, it sounds like a very cute romance story, but I also want to see whether it is just the smart and the romance, or is there any kind of character development, whether I fall in love with the characters or not, what are the character dynamics, the depth. So I am expecting more, I guess, from this novel, but if it meets my expectations to some extent also, I will be really happy. I did plan to wake up a little early because this book is chunky, and I was late. I was late. Currently the time is 8:30 a.m. and I will start the book ASAP now, because the more reading I get done in the morning by 10 a.m., the better it is for me, because the number of pages is, I guess, 430, which is huge. uh, but I do have the audiobook of this novel, so that will also be a good boost to my reading speed. And also I have decided to clean my bookshelf because it is in shambles. I have been collecting books on the top of my bookshelf along with all the Amazon packaging and everything, and I need to clear and declutter that area. Plus, the light has also loosened in some places, so I also need to fix that. I will be listening to the audiobook and doing that later in the day, but let's start with the book now. Hi guys, it is afternoon. I just had my shower and I am here to give you a little update. I am currently at chapter 22, almost halfway through the book. I have finished this part and this section is left. I now understand the hype of this book. I am loving Icebreaker. I am so happy that the characters in this novel have such great dimensions. As far as I have progressed in the book, I do feel like Anastasia is more grumpy and Nate is so freaking cute, so caring, and I do not hate anything about Nate. Even Anastasia has also slowly built a place in my heart now. One thing I must say that I am hating this particular character whose name is Aaron, who is Anastasia's ice skating partner. And oh my god, that guy is so freaking controlling and irritating. I just want to go inside the book, punch him, and then come out of the world. It's that irritating. I mean, the author's intention is making the character irritating, and it is working on a really good level because this character is hitting my nerves, and I am absolutely loving it. I did not expect this book to have such great characters, to be honest. Something beyond the romance, something beyond the, smart. And I am shocked in a good way. It was a really nice decision to pick this book up because I am flying through this novel. Also, I cleaned my bookshelf. It is in a way better condition with respect to yesterday. If you have seen my background, I still have to clean a lot more. There is a whole mess on my bed. I will take a good nap before doing that. I'll do the cleaning and everything in the evening and I'll listen to the audiobook. I have this prediction that this book will be a solid 4.5 stars read for me. This book is making me giggle at the funny moments, the cute banters. Also, this book is making me emotional when, some intense thing is happening, when the characters are facing themselves. And I am absolutely loving the roller coaster ride. So, for now, I will go and have lunch. And after having lunch, I will continue with this book till the time I fall asleep. And I am confident that I will definitely finish this book by today. I will see you guys in the evening with the update. Bye. Hi guys. It is a little past midnight. It is 12:15 a.m. and I have finished reading Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, and I am rating this book 4.5 stars. This definitely came as a shocker to me, but I absolutely loved reading this book. It was such a great read. I am so happy that I picked this book up. Nate was an absolute sweetheart in this novel, and even though I did love Anastasia as well in this book, but I have to put Henry over Anastasia. He was such a green flag character. I mean, he deserves his own book in this series. I don't know whether he has a dedicated novel. That guy stole my heart. It ended so beautifully. Not a single part of this book was bad. I still hate Aaron a lot. The things that he did to Anastasia triggered me a lot, to be honest, but I was so happy that Nate was there with her every single time she needed him. But I also feel that Anastasia was a bit naive. She could not see who Aaron actually was. I also wanted something bad happening to Aaron. I mean, he should have tasted the cake that he baked, but it was not there. That was a bit that left me unsatisfied, but I still have no complaint. However, this book covers a lot of issues like eating disorder and how communication is so very important between a couple. I was so happy to see that there was no miscommunication trope. I understand the hype of hockey romance now, and I will definitely be picking up hockey romances in the future. The one reason why I did reduce zero point 0.5 stars from this novel is because after 400 pages, the book became a little stretchy. The fillers were really nice, not gonna lie, but I did feel like the author could have compacted the story after 400 pages. I highly recommend this book to each and everyone. The only thing that I will suggest you is pick this book up only if you are okay with spicy content. For now, I am done with my skincare. I am done with all the things that I needed to do for the night. I have finally, finished reading a 420 something pages of a book, and I am so happy and proud of myself of finishing 3 books in a row in this challenge. Yes, now I am feeling kind of fatigued, not gonna lie. I am dreading to pick up a new book tomorrow because this book is giving me a good hangover. I do want to ponder a little on this book, be in the world as much as I can, but I I am doing this challenge. I have to pick a new book tomorrow, and I have decided to read a particular book that is suggested by my boyfriend. And I am so excited to read this particular book because it is, spoiler alert, a thriller. And I am so excited to start a new genre. And I am hoping to like this book as well. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night. Hi guys, it is the fourth day of the challenge, and I have decided to read The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose. The main character of this novel is Sarah Morgan, who is a very famous defense criminal lawyer, and she is the best in the law firm she is working at, and definitely one of the top lawyers of the country. And that brings a lot on the table. She is a super busy person, and she dedicates most of her time on work, and that is something that bothers her husband. Adam and Sarah have been married for around 10 years, and Adam is a struggling writer. His first book did get a lot of appreciation from the literary people, but it was not something that was remarkable. And after that book, he has been struggling to write a new novel. The next two novels he wrote were big flops, and that's the reason why he is, stuck at his work. And also when he sees his wife working so hard and becoming so successful, having a better financial condition than him, and somehow this guy has to depend on his wife, that is something he cannot digest much, and that leads him to have an extramarital affair with another woman who is also married. Sarah gifted a lake house to Adam so that he can have uninterrupted writing sessions in that place, but in that same house her husband is having extramarital affair with this woman for almost a year. And one day after their 10th anniversary, Sarah and Adam planned to go to the lake house to spend some time together, but some work came up and Sarah couldn't make it. Adam went there alone, and he had intimate moments with this woman he was having an affair with. However, on the same day, Adam thought that he wants to go back to his wife and spend the night there. So even though the woman he was having an affair with was sleeping beside him, he left a note saying that wake up early before 9 a.m. so that the cleaner who comes to the lake house to clean everything does not see your face. And he goes back to Sarah, and it was around 2 a.m. in the morning. They finally decide to plan a baby and move on with their life. And Adam also decides to break everything off with this woman he was having an affair with, and everything ends on a beautiful note. But on the next day, where Sarah was tackling a very, very influential and important case, on the other hand, Adam was being arrested by the policeman and dragged to the police for interrogation on the charges of murdering the woman he was having an affair with in the lake house. When Sarah gets to know about this, she decides to be his defense lawyer because she is the only one who can take him out of the mess he has created for himself. That's the introduction, guys. I have already finished 7 chapters in the morning, around 50 pages, and I still have work now to do. And I will start reading this book from the evening. The number of pages of this book is around 320 something, so it is definitely doable. According to the number of pages I have read, the writing style is really crisp. The chapters are also very short, which is definitely a plus point. And also, each chapter is ending on a cliffhanger, so that is making me read the book more, and the short chapters are making me read the book faster. Plus, also, I have the audiobook of this book on Storytel, so that is also going to help me to finish this book because I have to do most of the reading during the evening and at the early stages of night, so my eyes will definitely hurt. That's all I had to update you guys for now, and I will see you guys in the evening or after I finish the book. Hi guys, it is almost midnight and I am done reading with my book The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose. I just finished this book, and the ending, oh my god, it is making me think a lot. I was not able to predict what was going on and what the ending was, but I wanted this to happen so very bad. This was a very, very, very satisfactory read. I did not feel like I was reading a book, I was living in the story. The writing style of this author was so freaking good that I was hooked into the book from the very beginning. On the other hand, I do also feel bad for this particular person. I won't be saying any names because that also will be considered as a spoiler. This book was all about karma and how it can bite you back. Since this book is a thriller, most of the characters in this book are morally gray, but you won't feel those characters to be morally gray. I mean, you will definitely be picking sides while reading this book. Some of you might take side of the husband, or some of you might take side of the wife, and there will definitely be reasons why you are picking these people, because obviously not all qualities of a person are bad, and also not all qualities of a person are good. So at the end of the day, I am really satisfied with today's read. I am rating this book a solid 4 stars. There is no reason per se to reduce 1 star, but I do feel like I have read better thrillers. That doesn't mean that I did not like this book or there were some discrepancies. That's all for today, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Till then, bye. Hi guys, it is the next day, and I have started reading a book that is in my most anticipated list of 2024, and that is The 7 Years Slip by Ashley Poston. I have been reading this book since the morning, and I am currently at the beginning of chapter 27, and the page number is 206. I can actually tell you what the story is about because the blurb is a bit confusing. The main character of this book is Clementine, who works in a publishing house as senior publicist. She is a very hardworking person and she loves her job, but her personal life is kind of in shambles. She does not have any love life. She only have colleagues as friends, and she cannot consider them as close friends per se. Her relationship with her parents is on good terms, but not in good terms also. She has not visited her parents for a long time. The only person she was close to was her aunt, and her aunt passed away 6 months ago. Now she is going through a very rough phase of life where every day she is missing her aunt, missing the adventures they used to do all around the world, and basically missing her company each and every day. Her aunt has given her apartment to Clementine, and it is in the Monroe complex, and she decides to shift there because the apartment she rented was becoming expensive for her because she works in a small publishing house and the pay is not that good. So she moves to this apartment and starts with her mundane life again, but one thing is running on the back of her mind, and that is her aunt said that the apartment is magical. The apartment can move 7 years back in time sometimes. It basically depends on the mood of the apartment, I guess. She told this story to Clementine when she was young, and Clementine actually did not believe this story. But one day when she returns home, she sees that her apartment has shifted back 7 years, and one stranger comes into the apartment 7 years ago, and that completely changes Clementine's life. So this guy 7 years ago wants to be a chef, and Clementine starts having feelings for him, and he is also reciprocating those feelings for her. But once she leaves the apartment, she is brought back to the present timeline. So the twist is, in present timeline, this guy owns a very popular restaurant and he is the head chef there. The publishing house where Clementine works wants to sign him for a cookbook, and that's how their paths cross again. But the question is, will this guy remember her from his past? And Clementine, on the other hand, is confused between her past and present, but her past is actually working on present, and that is actually confusing her a lot. Her aunt has told her 2 rules that needs to be followed in the apartment. The first rule is keeping the shoes outside the apartment, and the second rule is not to fall in love. So will Clementine actually fall in love with the guy, or will she listen to her aunt's rules and stop herself from falling in love? Can anybody control their emotions? Can she control her love for this guy? If I could not convince you to read this book after finishing the story of the book, then I have one particular line that will definitely convince you to read this book, and that line is, "You are an Excel spreadsheet to my chaos." I have read almost, around 60% of the story, and I am really, really, really liking this book. It is so beautiful. This book has a bubble of world of its own. The beautiful writing style of the author has made me stay glued to the book, and I am super excited to see where the story goes. I am super excited to see the changes the present timeline will bring in Clementine's life. I am really, really hoping for a happy ending. Please, God, I don't know what the ending will be, but I don't want to break my heart. That's the update for now. I will be finishing this book and I will give you guys the update and my final thoughts after that. Till then, see you guys. Hi guys, it is 11:15 p.m. and I have finally finished reading The 7 Years Slip by Ashley Poston. and I am not okay. This book was so freaking good. I didn't expect that this book will exceed my expectations, and oh my god, this book is definitely going to be one of the best books that I have read in 2024. I just want to sit and absorb what I just read. This book was so good that I ended up reading the author's note, and that was also so good. This book was something special. I still cannot believe that this book ended. Not only the characters are described so beautifully, but this book also makes you realize that by the end of the day, you have to find yourself to be happy. And the concept of past meeting the present and the present meeting the past, then past meeting the past and present meeting the present, was something that I have not read in any of the books. There is one particular line at the ending of the story that I wanted to share. Sometimes the people you loved left you halfway through a story. Sometimes they left you without a goodbye. And sometimes they stayed around in little ways, in the memory of a musical, in the smell of their perfume, in the sound of rain, and the itch for adventure, and the yearning for the liminal space between one airport terminal and the next. Hearing James talking about food was something I really, really loved in this novel. This book also has a very strong message to the readers, and that is people do change with time. And if you are someone who loves a person, then that person will definitely change. And if you love that person, then you will accept that person with all the changes he or she has gone through, because at the end of the day, the person you fell in love with is always at the core. You just have to be patient and find that person sometimes, and it is definitely okay to change with time. Person I am now while recording this video will not be the same while you are watching this video, and that is something really baffling and really beautiful at the same time. I am definitely giving this book a 5 stars. If you are watching this video and if you have not read The 7 Year Slip, then please go and read this book. Trust me, you won't regret this. So that's all for today, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Till then, stay tuned. Hi guys, it is the next day and I am updating you in the evening because in the morning I had a lot to do. But I have started reading Ward D by Frida McFadden. How could I not add a Frida McFadden book in this challenge? This book was available for free on Kindle Unlimited and I could not resist reading this book. I am 39% into the story and currently at chapter 20. And here is the story of the book. The main character of this book is Amy Brenner, who is a medical student and is doing, internships in different wards of the hospital so that she can gain experience. And one day, one of her worst nightmares come true. She is assigned to a night duty in Ward D, a ward she has always been afraid of going. It is said that this ward has the most ferocious and dangerous psychiatric patients, and all of the interns are given a digital code so that they can exit their shift anytime they want to. Amy, just like other students, has heard a lot of gossip surrounding this ward and she is also very afraid of going there. But there is also a past that is making her fear this ward more and she does not want anyone to know about that. Turns out Amy is not that stable in her mind herself. When Amy enters the ward for the shift, things started going wrong and all of the patients are saying that this particular patient who has been shackled and kept in a particular room with high security is going to kill everyone that night. So the question is, will Amy be ever able to come out of Ward D? That's the story of this book, guys. It is very thrilling, but I am seeing that the story is not up to the mark when it comes to books by Frida McFadden. It does seem like a mediocre read, but I am only 39% in. And when it comes to books by Frida McFadden, my rating completely depends on the final revelation and how, it has baffled or shocked me at the end. So I will finish the book first before doing any kind of predictions. But for now, I am not seeing that Frida McFadden charm in this novel. Let's see what happens. This book definitely is giving me vibes of The Silent Patient, and I am liking that, not gonna lie. There are two timelines in this novel. One talks about the past of Amy, and one talks about the present of Amy. And that jumping between two timelines is definitely making me more interested in the novel. It is close to 7:30 p.m., and now I will stop blabbering and read the book. Hi, guys. It is almost midnight, and I have finished reading Ward D by Frida McFadden. And I am in shock right now. What the hell just happened in the last 5 chapters? Especially the epilogue. What happened? Frida McFadden always does this to me. I am giving this book a straight 4 stars. One thing that I have to say is the first half of the book was a bit slow, but I am so glad that I picked this book up, and waiting for the last 5 chapters, especially the epilogue, was worth reading this book. Yes, one thing I have to agree with is this is not the best Frida McFadden book I have read, but this book is definitely worth a try. And while I was reading the book, I felt like I cannot trust anyone. I cannot even trust the main character also. And that was a good feeling. And with that note, good night, guys. I will see you guys with the update tomorrow. Till then, bye. Hi, guys. It is the last day of the challenge, and it has been a very hectic week, you can say. I don't want to see the face of a book for quite some time now because I have been reading rigorously for the past 6 days. So I wanted to pick a book that I was most excited about to read this month, which was unfortunately not a part of my TBR. But I wanted to include this book because I have heard a lot of good things about this book. And the book that I'm talking about is The Mine by Orno Bray. So, coming to the story of this book, I will be reading the blurb to you all because I feel like 30 pages is not enough to completely understand what should be considered as a spoiler and what should not be. Plus, 30 pages is not enough to tell you guys the story also. At a secret mining facility somewhere in the deserts of Rajasthan, an ancient place of worship with disturbing carvings on its dome is discovered buried deep inside the earth. Soon, the miners find themselves in the grip of terrifying waking nightmares. One tries to mutilate himself. Worse follows. 5 experts are called in to investigate these strange occurrences. Sucked into the nightmare deep underground, they embark on a journey that will change them forever, bringing them face to face with the most shattering truth of them all. The greatest evil lies deep inside. I am super happy, first of all, to read a book by a fellow Bengali. And having heard a lot of good things by this author, I feel like my reading experience will be amazing. And I'm super excited to share my reviews with you guys also because this author is not talked about much. Also, in the preface of this book, the author has shared a beautiful but weird experience that he went through in 2012 when he was attending a book event. A stranger held a copy with the first page open for my signature and then said, I read this, and all I can say is that I would hesitate to be in a room with you. I am super excited to see what weird shit happens in this book. I am expecting this book to be really dark. I am expecting this book to have all the twists and turns that a good thriller needs to have. And let's start reading again. Hi guys, I thought of updating you guys yesterday about this book, but I wanted to sit for some time, marinate my thoughts, and then come to you guys before talking anything about this book. And yes, this book did make me think, and the story that this book has given me will definitely stay in my mind for quite a long time. And I absolutely loved reading this novel. Coming to the rating of this book, I will be giving this book 4.5 stars out of 5. The mind is intense with lots of violence and dark themes that definitely has challenged me as a reader and has challenged my limits as a reader also. If you pick this book up, your direction towards looking a thriller will definitely change. This book deserves all the appreciation, and I will definitely love you guys to check this book out. If it fits your taste, then definitely read this book. Last segment of this video will be a short wrap up. So the first book that I started this challenge with was The American Boyfriend. I did not like this book. The second book that I picked was Even in Death by Lilith Roman, and I did not like that book also. The third book I picked in this challenge was Icebreaker, and I absolutely love this novel. The fourth book that I picked in this challenge was The Perfect Marriage, and I did love that book also. The fifth book that I picked in this challenge was The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, and I absolutely adored this book. The sixth book that I picked in this challenge was Ward D by Frida McFadden, and I loved that thriller. The last book that I have read in this challenge and finished this challenge with is The Mine by Orno Bray. Keeping in mind that I have read 4 thrillers in this challenge, this steals the spot. This was definitely the best among the lot. I read a few books from my TBR list in the month of August, but I also read a few books that were not on my TBR list, and I'm so happy that I was able to finish so many books in a short span of time. Today is 8th of August, and and I have already finished reading 7 books, and that makes me really happy. And finally, we have come to the ending of this video. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. I am so very grateful to each and every one of you who takes some time out and watches my videos. It definitely means a lot. And if you have come so far in the video, then please go and subscribe to my channel. It definitely means a lot. It motivates me a lot to make more bookish content like this. And if you like watching these kind of videos where I talk about books, where I do different reading challenges, then consider subscribing. You won't regret it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Till then, bye.